If you want to hear from New Zealand's #1 mental performance coach, who's coached the likes of Izzy, City Kickboxing Team, Lydia Ko, and so many more, as well as everyday New Zealanders, just to be better, let's do this exercise on me.
Well, do you give me permission to be blunt and honest?
Yes. You know, people that I know, when I come into the studio, the Fanatical boys, how are you? I say, fuck, I'm tired. I got to stop that. I got to fill my head with, I'm great. I'm full of energy. I'm ready to rock and roll. You know, I'm ready to bring the heat. And that's what Dave does. He brings the heat, the motivator of motivators.
You can stay there and suffer, or you can make a fucking choice.
This guy's gone from nothing, gone from failing school C, unable to read math, found out he's dyslexic, and just has totally just rebuilt his life to the life that he's designed. We talk about the celebrities that he's coached. You know, but for him, it's about the everyday New Zealanders. And for every everyday New Zealander watching this, there's so many tools that you can utilize in your life to be better. Be sure to like, comment, and share this conversation far and wide. Unfiltered, Dave Letele, David Niethe, let's go. Big Dave.
How are you, buddy?
I really want to just say thank you, because you always send me messages right at the right time. You know, you check in, you know, and if you see something's going on, you know, there'll always be a message there come through and to lift my spirits and to keep me going. The last one was through the food bank, you know, when it got robbed.
Yeah,
there,
but I mean, who motivates the motivator? Who supports you know what I mean? And we've got you kind of need that, eh?
Yeah.
Because you spend all your energy in motivating others.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There's so much I want to unpack with you. So what I thought we'd do in this episode, and I think it's going to be a multiple where you keep coming in and coaching, because it's like where we can sit down together, and it's sort of like a session, like like what you would do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then people can get something out of it, because I won't be the only one going through. There'll be, many people going through similar things. But before we start that, can you give us a quick rundown? So how did you get into, what's your official title, or how did you get into it?
Okay, so the official title is mental performance coach, just so we're clear. So that's mental performance, not mental health.
Okay.
All right. So, you know, for me, the journey probably started for me at about 13, all the way back at Wesley College, man. The only sort of little white Palangi kid, beaten, bullied, you know, and two things for me. One was dealing with the bullying. It was pretty traumatic, you know, but I didn't want to be a victim, so to speak. You know what I mean? But the catalyst for me was a book given to me by the priest there called Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Yeah.
Now, I'll make it clear, I'm not a religious person, but there was some stories in there. The story of Jonathan I could relate to, and becoming the best version of himself.
Yeah.
So that sparked something in me. And through that process, I fell in love with the mind. I fell in love with becoming the best version of myself. So through the bullying, how do I deal with it? Well, I'm going to be the biggest, strongest motherfucker I can be.
Wow.
You know, I got into the gym. I fell in love with it. I mean, I was playing rugby and rugby league and did a bit of rowing. But the weight room, the heavy shit, that I can relate. I'm more of an individual than I am a team player, so to speak. Yeah. So I found my niche. That took me on a journey all the way to New Zealand's Strongest Man.
Wow.
Which I'm fucking proud of, mate.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. But on that journey, I had to make some decisions. And obviously one of the key obvious ones is I wasn't prepared to jab my ass with something. Yeah. So I decided that I needed to pivot and go, well, where can I get the edge? So I went and researched what the Russians were doing, which was a lot of fucking shit. Yeah. But they were doing some work on hypnosis. Now, I found that really quite fascinating. And through there, I backed into neuro-linguistic programming. And that put me on a real journey of personal development. So through that process, I read so many I still do. Now we talk about significant moments. So overcoming the bullying was through being the biggest version of myself. Yeah. I talk about 3 transitions for me personally. One was the bullying. The second was the public speaking. fucked if I'm going on stage, because at school I'm the dumb fuck who's at the back of the room chewing up paper and going, stirring shit up, you know. I found out when I was 20, because I was looking at going into the police force. I was printing at the time, which I fucking hated with a passion.
Yeah.
So I went to the police force for the entry. I passed the physical, and I went to do my English and maths. Mate, I can't read and write. I really struggled at school. And the lady there said, Dave, I need you failed. Sorry, you won't be going through, but I want to have a little chat to you and do some tests. I found out that I'm dyslexic. Now, you got to appreciate back in those 80s, no one knew what dyslexia was. I was just labelled thick. You're dumb, right? So that opened a door for me to go into educating myself. Now, so that sparked me to get on stage and to start doing some public speaking. So I've overcome that. The last one for me was academia itself. And here I am. I'm at university. Wow. I'm just about done now.
Wow.
I'm doing a double degree in psychology and philosophy. I just got my marks. I got 2 B pluses, which I'm fucking proud of. Yeah. Compared to that 16-year-old boy, mate, my school. Do you remember School C, Dave? Were you around it?
Yes.
All right. School C English. I remember going, you know how they had the hall and you all had your desk and you sit down and they go, you can open your papers now. I remember opening my paper, writing my name, putting the pen down and thinking, what's the fucking point? I'm going to fail.
I remember those days where it was like, if you failed School C, you're fucked.
You're a dumb fuck.
That's it.
You're fucked.
You know what I mean?
I remember Mum and Dad so anxious.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we going to... In fact, I can tell you now, I remember I was with a mate over in Waiheke Island and, old public phone. He phoned home.
We're showing our age now.
Yeah, 23. He phoned home and his mum said, yeah, you got 70% and 60% and blah, 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 and you passed, son. I'm so proud. And then I phoned my mum.
Yeah.
And all I remember her saying is, oh, Dave, what are we going to do?
Wow.
And that gutted me. I thought, I am a fucking useless failure.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we pivot now to something that's really important, because I really encourage people to be mindful of the story they're telling themselves. And I was constantly telling myself, I'm not that bright. I'm not that smart. And accordingly, with that sort of belief system, you start creating a life based on what you think is achievable around that. Mm. Your expectations lower right down, I got an apprenticeship as a printer. I was grateful to get an apprenticeship, which is, if you weren't smart, in our day, if you weren't smart, ideally you got a job, eh?
Yeah.
You got an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Fuck, I went into printing. The old man was a printer. He pulled some strings. And again, I remember walking up when I had this vision about being a mental performance coach. I remember I'm in steel cap boots and overalls, walking up the hallway. The manager comes out and says, Dave, what's this bullshit about you wanting to be a mental performance coach? Son, you only just managed to pass your apprenticeship. I got 51%.
Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
And remember we were talking about before, when you're vulnerable because you have a vision, but you got nothing to back it up with. You haven't got the evidence yet. I remember in that moment feeling like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You don't believe in me, man. And I was determined to fucking make this vision work, right? I had a vision. I've been on stage. I've been that person that inspired. I looked up to people like Jim Rohn and whatnot, I wanted to be like that, the Anthony Robbins in New Zealand, because I truly love working with people. I'm fucking good at that. That's my passion. But in that moment, I felt like, fuck, it gutted me. Now, as we were talking earlier, mate, you reframe things to serve you.
Yeah.
I took that energy and I got stuck in with studying. I taught myself fundamentally how to read and write at 20.
Yeah.
No excuses, Dave.
No excuses.
No excuses, bro.
Can that be learned? Because I don't think when you're talking like that, it reminds me, so I passed school C, all my subjects. And the reason why...
Congrats, man.
Yeah, and then I passed sixth form, and my grades in sixth form were good enough to get me to uni.
Yeah.
So I sort of mucked around in seventh form and went to uni. But that's all I did. I just went there. But I used, where I was from.
Yep.
And I used not having much as like fuel. I said, fuck, I want to be rich. I want to look after my family. So to do that, it's either I make it in a league or I do well in business.
Yeah.
So, so I sort of was going for both. And then even when, if I look back at my boxing days, when I sort of had to rebuild and I had all this hate, people saying, we're going to shoot you on sight. You're a disgrace to all your people. Humble yourself. But I used it again. Is that something you can learn? Because we're saying to people, to youth that we're doing a school tour with Manu. So, use the struggle and its adversity as your fuel and burn it to be better, to drive you.
Yeah, I think we got to go possibly a little bit deeper first.
Yeah.
I think that the initial premise is that, do you feel that you're free to make a decision?
Do I feel?
Yeah.
Which decision? Any decision?
You can make. Do you feel that you can make a decision? Like right now, you can make a decision to get up and leave if you wanted to.
Yep.
You have that free will, right?
Yep.
Okay. And with that comes agency, eh? So you have the freedom to make decisions. So if we agree on that, and I think this is really important, is that in that moment, that is about the fact that you have the fundamental ability to make decisions that put you on the right path. Okay. Now it's about, so how do we start creating some motivation to make that change? Now, again, the important thing here is you cannot change anything you don't first recognize. And a lot of people have to get to a point where they recognize the story they're telling themselves. And with that are the association of belief systems and values, right? So again, what was the story you're telling yourself is that, I'm from the poor, right? And you got to appreciate, man, I spent many a year living in Clendon.
Yes.
Fucking rough area, right?
Yep.
Right? And I still keep up with some of the boys from, we call themselves the Pallant Street boys. We have fucking nothing. So I think what drives that motivation is, firstly, to be self-aware of the suffering. Now, the thing is, the suffering is the gift.
Yeah.
Right? The suffering is the gift. It's that pain that sparks you to become more aware because you're aware of the pain, right? And in that moment, it's about you going, do I want to continue like this or do I want to make some fucking change? I'm fucking over this. Now, most people surrender to the suffering. Something that Nietzsche said, most people become, and we have to appreciate, not everyone is motivated to change. We just have to accept we're not going to change everyone, Dave. You know what I mean? Nietzsche talked about the camel. Most people become the camel. They will suffer the load. They will exist through life. For me personally, fuck that.
Yeah.
So again, we go back to those initial premises. The first one is the fact that I'm an existentialist. I believe we're thrown into this world. We don't get to choose our circumstances and we die.
Yeah.
Now, between that, we have time. You're going to make something of your life and get something and extract something out of it. Now, it's not always perfect, man, but I want to make sure that I get as much out of life as I possibly can. What's the fucking point of just existing through life? To give life some sort of fucking meaning. We recognize that what we currently have isn't working for us. You'd agree with that, eh?
Yeah.
You weren't happy, right? It's there that you have to recognise and then start challenging and taking complete responsibility for the fact that you are the agent of change. Because we're very good in society to blame the government, society, blah, blah, blah. And for most people, from a sociological perspective, you know, we look at that blanket and go, these are the problems that we have. And yet, we have individuals in those environments that go on to be something. So what the fuck was it? It was the same for everyone else, and yet some step up and do something with their fucking lives. That starts with a fucking vision. So I encourage the kids, and I know you're going around the schools, right? So what I would encourage, especially with the kids, is always work with the end in mind. Now, what's the wonderful thing about kids, Dave? Because we were talking about the importance of capturing them early, right? You know what I love about kids? When you were a kid and you're out in the back of the paddock and you had a piece of wood, that piece of wood became anything, eh?
Yeah.
It's an everything fucking gun, you know, laser, whatever. You had an imagination, right? And then as you go through fucking life, it's fucking beaten out of us. We conform to fucking society, right?
Yeah.
You get the kids and I say to them, look, if you could not fail, what would you like to do, right? And 9 times out of 10 you get, I want to be Prime Minister and I want to be an astronaut. Now, I talk about creating a vision board. Now, we know that it's virtually impossible to be an astronaut and a Prime Minister and a fucking at all the same, but it's not about that. It's encouraging kids to use their imagination, to dream, and then to create a conviction to manifesting that dream.
Yeah.
It's a fucking incredible thing. Think about this. You had your lowest moment, and I'm sure you probably got a story about that, but a low moment, which in of itself was a gift because it sparked you to start asking different questions, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now,
And it's a couple of times. A couple of
okay,
moments.
so here's the thing. The quality of your life and the quality of your future is directly related to the quality of the questions you ask of yourself and qualified others. So instead of going, fuck, why does this shit always happen to me? You reframed it going, I'm going to make some change, eh? So the language changed. And perception is projection.
Yeah. Like the most recent rebuild, and touch wood, no
Yep.
more rebuilds. But yeah, it was just, I was on a bed I couldn't fit on. And I tell the story all the time.
Yeah.
But I was staring at the roof thinking, how did I fuck things up so badly?
Yeah.
But then I guess it's like the vision.
Yeah.
I thought of my kids.
Yeah.
And I thought, I want my kids back.
Yeah.
To get my kids back, I have to be better.
Yeah.
So when I got up and went for a walk.
Wow. And that was a small moment, eh?
Yeah.
It was a little spark of motivation that sparked another bit of motivation, which eventually became habitual.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess my sister used to always have a vision board, manifesting. I think I've been good at being able just to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, like always. Yeah. So to start with, I think about being at the airport with my arms out, you know, and waiting for my children.
See how vivid that it was, though?
Yeah. And I just harnessed that feeling of the embrace. That's what kept me pushing. Yeah.
I think ultimately the reason why I encourage vision boards is that, and with that some affirmations, is because it holds you to account.
Yeah.
You know, I have a vision, my vision board that I drew in 1995.
Wow.
It's a picture of me on stage with a whole lot of people in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's not so much about me, it's the lives that I affect. And that now is manifested. But here's another example. And the simple principle here is any thought that I continuously hold in my mind will soon seek expression through some practical means.
Yeah.
Lydia Ko came to me and I asked her to do a vision board. You know what she did? She got the Golf Digest magazine with Annika Sorensen holding the US Open.
Yeah.
And she chopped Annika's head off and popped her head on top. Now, she was 8. Kids are wonderful, right?
Man.
8 years later, it was reality.
Wow.
How fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's like having a little secret, Dave. When you know where you're going, it allows you to sort of endure some of the fucking challenges that are inevitably going to happen on that journey.
And sometimes you can't get people a lot, like, because what you're saying, they can't see the evidence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny when I go to sign a lease, and they, you know, I quite often tell them I don't have funding. I never tell them I don't have funding for this thing, but I have a vision and I have faith. I know it will work. But people think I'm nuts.
Yeah, well, that's probably a sure sign you're on track.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, think about this. This is the 95% rule. 95% of the population will blame, make excuses, or live in denial. Those above take ownership, make themselves accountable, so they eliminate procrastination, and they take complete responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
So, you know, when we talk to the kids and you're talking about, you know, starting and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What about for adults, you know, when they're so our we'll go through our pillars of BBM.
Yeah, go for it.
So the start, we've covered that.
Yeah.
The second one is being consistent.
Yeah.
How do people be consistent, and if they get knocked down and all that? What's the tools for that?
Yeah. Again, what drives that is the commitment to the vision.
Yeah.
Right? And accountability. To whom am I accountable to make this happen? Firstly, it's to yourself. You know, I think that sometimes it's really important to make little promises to ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is conditioning. So the accountability holds you to account to get your ass back in there to do the reps that you know you need to do. And ideally, you want motivation initially will serve you well, and then eventually you want it to become habitual. Now, it's when it becomes habitual that you know that you're on a journey. You know, you free yourself because you don't have to be motivated to do it.
Yeah.
I just do it. I mean, you and I both, we've been in the gym most of our lives, right? There are times when I really don't want to go to the gym, but I still go because I'm smart enough to know that my senses lie to me. I don't feel very motivated. I feel low. I go to the gym, and how do you fucking feel after the training? The fact that you didn't want to go and that you did go, in of itself, what it does for building a belief in habits is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because too many of us surrendered to the state.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. We say to we run our flagship program From the Couch.
Yeah.
And it's what we talk about, you know, the sessions because the novelty of this will wear off. You know,
fucking A.
The first thing we say when we have our first sit down, this is all cool, everyone's here, we're all clapping and cheering on, but this will wear off and it's going to get colder, it's going to get wetter, and you're going to get sore.
And you get achy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the sessions, though, that you have to turn up on. You know, the ones that you don't want it to come.
What's done in the dark will shine in the light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, it comes down to personal fucking agency. You have been given the ability to make a choice.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, like what you said there, because when I'm hassling the government, whatever government they're all saying to me, but I talk about choice. Not everyone has the same choice where they're born, all these same things.
Yep.
But you, like what you just said there, you have that choice through life to choose something better.
We have between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day. Here's the thing, and again, I think it comes back to self-awareness. How many of those thoughts contaminate, and how many of those thoughts contribute?
Yeah.
And when you get to a level, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the highest was self-awareness. remember this, you cannot change anything you don't first recognize. And so, again, sometimes that's about being fucking honest with yourself. And most people don't like it when you fucking are honest with them. One of the first things I say to any client that sees me is, first question is, do you give me permission to be blunt and honest?
Yeah.
And if
All right,
they
let's do
say
this.
no,
Let's do this exercise on me.
well, do you give me permission to be blunt and honest?
Yes.
Right off the bat, that sets the standard, because I am not going to blow smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I will call you out on your bullshit story, and it will be fucking uncomfortable. I've had clients that have left and have gone, fuck that. I thought this was supposed to be really fucking, motivated.
I'm paying for this.
I'm fucking paying for this. And again, they've gone away and they've fucking thought about shit, and they come back and gone, holy fuck, I needed that.
Yeah.
Like I said, my job fundamentally is to make myself redundant.
Yep.
That's when I know I've done a good job.
Yeah.
You don't need me no more. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's building that emotional fucking toolbox. So again, it's about being consciously aware. What is the fucking story I'm telling myself? It's hard for me because of this. Fuck off. Because people put more time and effort into creative excuse making than they do about getting off their ass. And they'll fucking blame everything else. And I'll fucking tell you now, you think about the premise, no excuses. We all have tough fucking environments. You know what I mean? Some are tougher than others. But the fucking reality of life is you can stay there and suffer, or you can make a fucking choice. And that's about taking responsibility. Is it going to be easy? Fuck no. Is it going to happen overnight? Fuck no. It's delayed gratification. And unfortunately in this fucking world, we all want it now. Seriously, I have deluded fuckers that come to me and go, just hypnotize me and fix me.
Shit.
Yeah. Fuck off. If that's how you like to think, you're a fucking idiot, because you're not prepared to put in the fucking reps.
Yeah. Pain
means new life. You need to find meaning in the suffering, man. You talked about the myth of Sisyphus. So he was the Greek gods punished him, and they made him roll a boulder up to the top of the mountain and let it roll down again for eternity.
Wow.
So somehow he had to find some meaning in the realization that that was the inevitable future that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, quite often I try and catch myself, but it's something I do too much. So how can, I'm always like...
What do you mean you do too much?
Like, no, I think this too much, like in people, and I try not to, but I'm always saying, even, when I meet someone, how's it going? Oh, fuck, I'm tired.
Yeah.
How do I change my mindset for that? Because
So
I'm fucking tired.
So one of the most important things is, is mind your language. Yeah. Remember, the brain's, the subconscious is paying attention, right? So you're constantly verbalizing, and the brain has a primal part, which is to protect us, right? So you're projecting that, and it will protect you. Oh, fuck, I'm tired. And then it will find evidence to prove that. I mean, think about this. Ever had a car that you really fucking wanted?
Yep.
And you finally got it?
Yep.
Did you notice there was more of those cars on the road when you finally got it?
Yes.
Fuck me. Brain's predictive, right?
Wow.
So when you learn to think and appreciate that, mind your fucking language. Now, the other key thing is this. You're sitting there and you're saying that you're tired, right? And that was legit because we were talking before, right? Now, here's what I would say to you. If your missus phoned right now and said, sweetheart, we just won $26 million in lotto, I don't think you're going to go, hey, for fuck's sake, look, I'm here with Dave. I'm feeling I haven't got the energy to fucking, I would say, Dave, reschedule, bro. I'm off to George's to buy that car that I want. Do you know what I mean? You can have a thought right now that can change the fundamental thing, which is your physiology. If you were super excited right now. What's the first thing that you would change? Don't tell me, show me. Show me you're excited. Right?
Yeah.
So
I
what?
think we did that earlier where you said something to me and I changed.
And you immediately, so this is all I'm doing. I'm fucking answering and stating people.
Yeah.
And you got to get to a point where you got to go, when your eyes are above the plane of the horizon, you know, people that are positive, when they talk about chin up,
Yeah.
there's more in that than people think. Because when you're feeling down and a lot of negative self-talk, what's the physiology like? Oh, fuck. I ain't got no fucking energy.
Yeah.
As opposed to changing that immediately. So I run seminars and I'll get the kids and I'll get stand up, feet together, hands to your side, look up the ceiling, put a beautiful smile on your face, and without changing anything, try and get down. And the first thing they'll do is, no, don't change anything, keep smiling. I can't. This is dumb, man. And then I realize that you get to a point where part of the emotional toolbox is I'm self-aware that I'm starting that old fucking CD of negativity. What's the first thing I can do to interrupt that? Act as if. Change. Energy. See, the thing is, what do we know about energy? Energy cannot be destroyed.
Yeah.
It can only be reformed in another sense, another form. You can't destroy it.
Yeah. Man. The pillar number 3 we use in BBM is, and this is all through my own experience.
Yeah.
Is surrounding ourselves with good people.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
You know,
support network.
You know, and I put it as a joke. You know, I say to people, you know, if you surround yourself with 5 idiots, what does that make you?
An idiot.
Yeah, the 6th one.
No, the dumbest of the lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll use that on my next speech. But, you know, we were talking, you know, off camera about, you know, mutual friend George from Trust Motors. Awesome guy. And his journey, I'll try to get him on here, but his journey's been amazing, where he was to where he is now.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, how do I, it's interesting, you know, when I look at my immediate network of people that I'm around, you know, we've all been through similar things.
Yeah.
You know, does that happen by accident or?
Yeah, like to a certain point, we like people like us.
Yeah.
You know, we like to hang out. Well, you know, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
You know, when I was into the powerlifting, who did I hang out with? I hung out with people like me.
Yeah.
You know, we are social animals. We like to make these connections because we have something in common, and it helps to reinforce the behaviours, the beliefs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, that can be very supportive and positive. It can also be very destructive.
Yeah.
And again, there has to be an awakening of, hang on. For instance, you know, on my journey with the strongman, as soon as I got the strongest in the gym, I got out. And the reason being is because I knew that I didn't want to be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
I needed to be challenged if I truly wanted to progress. I think what's really important is that you've got to take a moment to really look around you and going, you know, we need sources of confidence comes from our support network. It's one of the most important, right?
Yeah.
But that's where you have to be fucking honest with yourself. You know what I mean? I'm very blessed. I have. When you think about this in a more simple sense, there are 3 sort of connections. One is the 5 most important people in your life, probably 5 people that you know right top of that you could call, they'll be there for you. I have those mates too.
Yeah.
Then from there we're connected to about 360 people that we know by name, and through that we're connected to about 7,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think what's very important is it's actually ironic. It's something that comes from boxing. The last thing the referee says to 2 fighters before they come out banging is to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably something very profound. You know, we take it for granted, but you've got to protect yourself. And that is taking responsibility. Sometimes you have to exit that social network that we believe is serving us. You know, we were talking about, you know, some of the gangs, etc.
Yeah.
It takes some real courage to go, is this really working for me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got to have a good look at yourself and going, who am I hanging out with? You know?
Yeah. How do we do? You know, because I think we all want to belong to something, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's, you know, with gangs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with my father when he was in the gangs.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons was the sense of brotherhood.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Yeah,
So
totally.
So how do we address that if we're trying to reduce gang numbers? So I guess what we've done in BBM is, I mean, it's like a gang.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
People belong to it. They're a part of
Yeah.
it. Here's our patch.
Yeah.
That's our sign. You know.
Yeah.
But it's positive.
Yeah. Look, mate, I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to the personal taking responsibility to have the courage to make that change.
Yeah.
Look, you know it's not hard to get out of a gang. Now, I'm not going to sit here and profoundly talk to you about knowing everything about fucking gangs, mate, right? But what I would say at an individual level is that, again, you have the personal agency to make better decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and again, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what my dad did.
Yeah.
He packed up the books and he went to the national president and said, I'm done.
Wow.
Same thing with my uncle.
That wasn't easy.
No.
And that takes a lot of fucking courage.
Yeah. Same thing with my uncle. He walked into the pad and said, I'm done.
Yeah.
If anyone has a problem with it, we'll deal with it now. Once
Yeah.
I walk out the door,
Yeah.
I'm finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you say, like they just made that. They got to that point where they made that choice.
Yeah, and I think the choice is motivated through something even deeper, which is probably those core values.
Yeah.
And maybe this is where we can get some discussion too, because I think a lot of people kind of appreciate, you know, beliefs and values, but they don't really pay attention to it. You know, one of the exercises that I do, not saying that everything is perfectly in a hierarchy, but, you know, you challenge people to look at their core values. And, you know, when you think of, by definition, what is a value? You know, we dictated our decisions, a lot of them at a deeper subconscious level on our values, but we don't even know what they are sometimes. You know, what does a value by definition is a preference times a priority. Those values give you a direction in life, right?
Yeah.
When you don't go, oh fuck, what are my values today?
Yeah.
You know, right? So those core values are very important. Now, think about a value as like a belief system on fucking drugs, right? So it's a really important one. And then attached to that, we have these beautiful belief systems. Now, some of those belief systems can contaminate or not quite align with the essence of what that value is. So sometimes it's not about changing beliefs as it is about values.
Yeah.
You know, for me, you know, my number one value is freedom. And now I look at my life, family is second for me. And the reason why I love my life is that I have designed my life the way I want it.
Yeah.
No, I've done all the hard work, bro. You know, I've done the 9-to-5 job. I've worked at night and I worked all weekends for years to build this business. And here I am now. In essence, if you look at the average person working a 8-hour day, I've been working 2 days a week for the last 30-odd plus years.
Wow.
You know, I fucking love it.
How good is that?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I am not available.
Yeah.
Except for you, because you're special, mate. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. But, I mean, again, understanding that when you understand life by design, not life by default,
Yeah.
it just sparks you to go, right, what are my values? What's really important for me? What do I really want in my life? Now, I'm not saying that you're all going to get it, but it motivates you to start making some decisions to move in the direction towards creating that.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a great buzz, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, it really is like a lot of, writing these things down and visualizing, dreaming it, and then working your way towards it.
And understand that it will take effort, sustained effort.
People say that to me all the time because they see where we are now.
Yeah.
How? How have you done this? I said, man, it's hard ass work for fucking 11, 12 years.
That's it, bro.
That's it. Like hard work and sacrifice.
In order to become something like that, you must have a tenacious resolve. And when you're tenacious, when you have a clear resolve, fuck, that keeps you on track, mate.
Yeah.
You keep fucking pushing. And look, there are moments. I mean, here's something that's interesting. We talk about health, right? Do you know how many days I've had off sick? Now, the average person has between 5 and 10 days a year.
Yep.
You know how many days I've had off sick in 30 plus years?
How many?
2.
Wow.
I think of that guy on Predator. I ain't got time to bleed.
Do that again.
I ain't got time to bleed.
There's a clip.
But it's fucking true, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to bleed. I ain't got time to focus on my victim story.
Yeah.
I'm fucking taking action.
Yeah.
Every fucking single day.
Yeah.
And here's a prime example of that. What would you rather have? $5 million in cash right now or $1 that doubles every day for 30 days?
For 30 days?
30 days. So day 2 is $2.
Yeah.
Day 3 is $4.
Yeah. Well, what was it the other option? $5 million.
And I think if you do the maths.
Does it work out more?
Oh, fucking way more.
See, I didn't pass maths in school, see.
Nor did I. But and then someone will be doing the maths right now, I'm sure. But it's about those small little steps, man.
Yeah, it's interesting because man, it's so really amazing hearing these things because it's like confirms, fuck, we are on the right track with what we're teaching.
Yeah, you are.
And it's like, I'd always say it's just bit by bit. Baby steps still get you up the mountain. Just fucking keep going. You get knocked down, keep going.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing. I think the other thing that people in society are deluded about is the fact that life should be fair.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's not the nature of fucking of this world, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I actually said that the other day at another speech up north. I said, people, we've got to stop letting excuses get in our way.
Yeah.
People say to me, it's not fair. We work with a lot of youth. It's not fair, It's not fair that...
you could surrender to that narrative for the rest of your life and go nothing and do nothing.
Yeah.
Or you can accept that it's not fair, but I still have the ability to make a decision right now that can manifest and change everything for me.
Yeah. They say to me, for every step they take, I got to take 2. I said, well, fuck it, take 6.
Oh.
That's the mindset.
I've said this for years. It's sort of like fucking don't tell me a victim story, man. Yeah, we really need to a certain point, help, and I'll get bagged for this, but we really need to harden the fuck up. We really do.
Yeah.
I think we're constantly. Everything's, especially online and everything today, everything's about fucking doom and fucking gloom. And we lose sight of the fact that, I think this is the greatest country in the world. And I think every single person has the opportunity to make a difference in their
I think
life.
we don't realise it
until
because I've gone overseas.
Until you go overseas.
And I've seen some fucking poverty.
Fuck yeah.
And as much as I get pissed off with this government and
Yep.
all these things that happen
Yep.
over here, I just think, fuck, thank God we're here.
Isn't that interesting? I remember being in Bali
Yeah,
and wife's in the markets, and I'm standing around, and I'm looking at this building, and there's this garden, and I thought it was a statue of a man in this garden, and I realised that it was a fucking living being. So I walk over, and it's this old guy who's got leprosy. So he's got stumps and stumps, right? Sitting in this garden. Hairs long, just covered in fucking dust. Anyway, and I'm a big pussy in that shit. You know, I fucking hate seeing people suffer. And I poured out some money, and I'm like, it's not like he's going to grab it.
yeah,
And I showed it to him, and I shoved it under his ass.
yeah,
And all I remember is this guy, I know what he was trying to do this with his stumps. But I get emotional, man, because I see the tears coming down his eyes because the dirt was washed away.
Wow.
And it's just like, fuck people, get a fucking bit of perspective, eh?
Yeah.
Seriously? Fuck. Do we really? I remember through COVID, and everyone's going, oh, it's fucking hard. Well, my grandma lived through the war, right? And she's in her home. She died not far long afterwards, but I remember I went and saw her, and I said, oh, what do you think of all this COVID, Grandma? And she goes, oh, these people haven't been bombed or shot at.
Wow. Yeah.
And she's fucking right.
Yeah.
Fuck COVID. We're stuck in our house. We can't get out.
I actually missed lockdown.
I thrived, mate.
I had a good time.
I did
in terms
too.
of, because it's I guess people might get upset, but I mean, it gave me a chance to all I did was spend time with my family.
Bro.
And I ran online boot camps, you know.
Yeah, mate. You know, I did the same. I worked online. I mean, look, adapt or die, eh?
Yeah.
You know? But again, it goes back to reframe things to serve you. You know, we've got to, I just think we got to.
How can we, so, you know, with a lot of the people we work with, they're coming from extreme struggle.
Yep.
And, you know, but they've used their victim story, I guess. They've used that where they've come from, same as me, to flourish.
Yeah.
You know, how can someone start to reframe the way they think about things?
Well, okay. So there's a couple of key things here. As I said to you, not everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have this perfect ideological world of fuck, everyone's happy. The reality, this is the nature, right? It's like a picture of that beautiful little Bambi still alive in the mouth of a lion. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, do you fucking shoot the lion? It's wrong. But for the lion, it's its nature.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, human beings, I think, you know, we can be very loving and beautiful beings. We can also be fucking assholes.
Yeah.
It's our nature, right? So not everyone.
Yeah, someone asked me, how do you change people? I said, well, I can only change if they want to change.
Fuck.
If they want it.
There has to, at the very least, all we can do is present the opportunity to support when the decision's made. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
You know, those that are keen to make change, let's just embrace them, eh?
Yeah.
I will work with who wants to work with me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. But if you come to me, I will promise you I will do everything in my power to do everything I can to help you become the best version of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So often it's a brother or a mum or dad or sister, please, can you help? Can you help something? And I'll say, well, it has to be them. It has to be that person.
I've had, you know, it's interesting. I get parents phone me and they go, look, Dave, I've got a son who I think would benefit from seeing you, and he is keen, but I just want to talk to you first about it. And I'll go, don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to pollute my perception. Because the moment that you tell me that I want my own assessment to be my own assessment, because mum and dad are biased. Everything's amplified. Oh, my God. The amount of times I've worked with a client and I've gone, no, and the parents are going, fuck, I'm not happy about that. 6 months later, I've gone, oh, my God, my son, my daughter, she's changed.
Yeah.
Fucking A, she has.
Yeah.
That's the buzz I get. See, I'm still competitive too. You know, I see each client as a real opportunity. I want to fucking win. And there's nothing wrong with being fucking proud and winning.
Yeah.
You know, where all this humble bullshit. I mean, there is a time to be humble, mate, but fuck me. In life, I want to be a winner.
Yeah. What I would say to myself, especially in Pacifica, that always say to me at the start, and even now a little bit,
Yep.
you know, because I'm not the stereotypical,
No.
you know, person, and they say to me, Dave, you just got to just humble yourself. Even now, when I'm, you know, going to these big meetings, I say, well, no, humble's not being a doormat.
Fucking A, mate. Anyone like yourself that is pioneering and leading cannot be fucking humble.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be Machiavellian. That is that not everyone's going to fucking like what you say. But then again, leadership isn't always about making the right decision. Leadership fundamentally is about making a fucking decision. Someone's got to make a fucking decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Underlying that, yes, there's some intellectual deliberation to make sure that the decision is somewhat grounded in good reason. But fuck me, you got to make a decision.
Do you think leaders are born or they can be made?
I think they can be developed.
Developed, yes.
Fucking A, they can.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. And this is another pearl. This is a pearl. In order for you to be a success in life, here's the bottom line, Dave. And if you haven't got it, I'm telling you now, fucking forget it. Give up, all right? And it's brutal, but it's the fucking truth. You know what you need? 100 trillion cells.
100 trillion cells.
What are you made up of?
Cells.
You got everything you need. Every single person has everything they need to make change right now. Every single person.
Man.
That's the gift.
And then it's just realizing that, eh?
It's celebrating that.
Yeah.
I'm alive. And with that, I have the opportunity to create and make meaning out of something.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love my life, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because you recently went overseas, and I think you were in Italy or Greece.
Yeah. Italy and Greece.
Italy and Greece.
And Egypt.
So I'm off fairly soon. Now, what I'm excited about, for me, has been a bit of philosophy geek.
Yeah.
That's the birth of philosophy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, Western Turkey initially, and then Greece.
Yeah.
But the richness and culture and history, it's beautiful, man.
It's interesting on those trips, bro. Like the history there is amazing, and all these different things that we, you know, do with the family. Even with our team when we go to things.
Yeah.
Like I just enjoy watching how other people enjoy it. Is that weird?
No, that's beautiful, mate.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fulfilling, I think. You know, because I have those moments too when I sit at the table with friends and we're all shit stirring, and you know, I get with my boys. We tell all the rugby stories. You know, the fight on the paddock that went from 2 guys to 50. You know what I mean? The wives are going, oh my God, last year it was fucking 25. It's gone, you know. But it's that connection, that laughter. I think there's something really beautiful. You know, something that my wife said is, you know, the Greeks, they have lunch together in the family, you know.
I've got
beautiful.
Got a really good friend, Egyptian guy,
Yeah.
Tarek.
Yeah.
And he said that's the thing with their culture is that they're all together. They all live in this one block of apartment. You know, that you got the parents, you got the brothers, and they all look after each other.
Yeah.
You know, they eat together, they work for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's missing a bit here, eh?
Yeah, I know for me, look, I'll be honest, mate, I don't have a good connection with my extended family, but I do pride myself on the fact that my connection with my daughter and my son, I have adult kids that love to hang out with mum and dad.
Wow.
You know, those special moments,
That's cool.
man. That for me, that's affirmation. I've done a good job.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter, unfortunately, is in London. But, mate, I went down to Queenstown for my boy's 21st. Didn't want to party. He just wanted to go and play golf, right? So he's a PGA professional.
Wow.
And we're sitting there and we had dinner. And I'm sitting at the table outside and we're having a cigar with my boy. And he looks up, and we're looking at the stars, and he goes, Dad, doesn't get much better than this, eh?
Wow.
You know, connect with my boy. Fuck, that's the affirmation.
Yeah, bro.
That's special, bro.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that is special. Just thinking of those moments. Those moments are priceless.
Absolutely, and meaningful.
Yeah.
And I think it's that affirmation knowing that, you know, I think I did a good job as a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes for me, there was moments I wasn't in my kid's life, and I would use that, to get them, to drive me. But sometimes I still parent out of guilt. That's why I just want to give them, because of those times when that doesn't always serve them right. I don't think.
No, I think I've been. I think in the relationship, look, I've always been very strict with my kids. Mum's my wife she is the best thing that ever happened to me was marrying that woman.
Yeah.
But I think beside any good man is a better woman. I know that. I truly believe that, mate. So mum's always the fucking give him $50. I'm fucking, all that. But more importantly, as adults, they've become very assertive and successful and goal orientated and really quite clear, on what they want. It's interesting. You go into my son's bedroom because you got to appreciate the biggest compliment is, I think, to have your son model your behaviour. Yeah. Right? He has books, philosophy books.
Wow.
He's reading. He will come in at night. Oh, how was your day, son? And he would go, right, now I want to talk, and we'll talk philosophy. And, or I'm in my office and you'll walk past, and if I'm not online, because if I'm online, I'm with a client, he'll come in and we sit down and we talk. And it's the connection, man. Yeah. And he's a sarcastic little prick too. He's fucking quick. Yeah. I love him for that, eh? Yeah. He's very sharp.
Yeah. Our last pillar in BBM, so we have start, stay consistent, be around good people, and then no excuses.
Yeah.
That's like the mantra of...
Yeah, bro.
And it's funny because I actually got that mantra off Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
When I didn't I was just lucky he was training with Alex Flint, and Alex Flint was helping me out. So I got to train with him, and I didn't go to training one morning.
Yeah.
The next day, Mark asked me, where were you? And I started to tell him my excuse. And he said, no excuses. And I went, fuck, that stuck with me. I said, you know what? You're right.
That is so fucking true.
Yeah.
Because again, go back to what we were discussing. Get out of bed. Ownership, accountability, and responsibility.
Yeah.
And again, this is where you got to be aware. Where the fuck am I? Am I below the line or above the line? I made excuses. Fucking excuses won't go away, man.
Yeah.
You must have a conviction. Now, here's a beautiful formula from a guy called Charles Tibbetts, who was a therapist in the Americas in the 50s and 60s. But he came out with a formula, BICE. Belief plus imagination plus conviction plus expectation equals results.
Wow.
When you have an undoubtable belief in self, you can see vividly what it is that you want. You have a conviction with the behavior to achieve that, and you expect it. You imagine that you had a fighter who had that in abundance. I expect to win. I believe I can win. I've seen it, and I've had a conviction. I've trained for years for this. Doesn't guarantee a win, but I'll guarantee you it'll be a hell of a fucking fight.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Even it's just the way I think. That's just what you described. It's like, when we do things, all these things that we get into and do, it's like I just expect it.
Yeah.
I know it will work.
Yeah. And then you get to a point of now understanding when I talk about an undoubtable belief in self. Now, how that is perceived by others can be arrogance.
Yeah. Yep. I've been called that a few times.
Yep. And I would say at the end of the day, if the behavior has loving intentions, you can't say that's arrogance.
Yeah.
We get intimidated with that. We have this issue in this country with tall poppy.
Yeah. On that trip you talked about, I was getting hate about being on this trip.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Yeah. Well, isn't that, again, you get to a point where I would say, fuck the noise. This is why it will test your conviction.
Yeah.
Nietzsche talked about something very important called ressentiment, which is that we tend to resent those that have all the things that we want.
Yeah.
So it's easier to blame them. It's easier to put your energy into hating than it does about taking personal agency and responsibility.
Yeah. Last thing is with those things we talk about in BBM, I guess we underpin it by having a very strong purpose and a why. And I get people at the start, because what I did, I got it from my sister, how you were talking about
the vision board.
Vision board.
Yeah, man.
She did it. She read the book, The Secret.
Yes, man. Good book.
And that's where I got it from. Which she was saying to me, just write up this vision board. Mm-hmm. But I used it as I write up my why.
Yeah.
And that's what I would my why was getting my kids back. And I would, but the feeling I talk about, that's what I'd harness when, to get up out of bed, to not give in to excuses, to not be, I'm only sore, I can keep going and stop eating rubbish, all these things.
Yeah.
So we get our people to talk, to write there, to write a list of things that mean a lot, then try and choose one that means the most.
The reason why I prefer a vision board.
Yeah.
Think about this. What is the saying? A picture is worth
1,000 words.
What is our most powerful of all modalities? Smell, taste, hear.
Vision.
What do we talk about when we talk about people with leadership? They have a
vision.
They don't say they have a voice.
Wow.
So think about this, Dave. There is something really powerful in creating that. I mean, it's such a great exercise. I've had so many people that think, this is so simple. You get your family around. Remember this, any thought that I consistently hold in my mind will soon seek expression through some practical means. So you can get the family to start creating vision boards.
Yeah.
Now, the amount of times, Here's one that I think people will appreciate. 2015, I was corrected by Izzy. 2015, I started working with Izzy.
Yes.
You know, when we talked about the quality of your life is directly related to the quality of the questions you ask of yourself and qualified others. All right. So I said, if you could not fail, and I want everyone to do this, if you could not fail, what would you like to do with your life? If you could not fail, maybe I'm going to throw that at you. Pause and think about it while I continue, right? So I said, Israel, who had just lost 2 fights in the one fight scene in China, I said, if you couldn't fail, what would you like to do? And he said, middleweight champion of the world, UFC. I said, fuck yeah, right? Didn't even have a contract with the UFC then.
Wow.
He got a picture of himself with a middleweight belt around his waist in his bedroom. Now, so I've been working with the City Kickbox for years.
Yeah.
So I'm running a seminar for them, and Mike Angrove, who's a great fucking coach, top bloke.
I want to get him on. You know why?
He's a brilliant man, mate.
Mike Angove, he put me in a chokehold after, I think it was I was playing up. It might have been the David Tua fight.
Yeah.
But like leading up to like the days before it, I was at some sponsors party with Dave Higgins and I was fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Playing up.
Yeah.
And I just remembered that Mike Angove, I didn't know it was Mike Angove at the time.
Yeah.
This guy I was fucking, and the lifts, and he just come behind me and put me in a fucking chokehold. And that was it.
Out. Tapped out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll behave.
Fucking A.
That was my, and we're great friends now.
Yeah, look, he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
All the team is. But Mike was telling, so I'm running a seminar for the City Kickbox, and Mike says, oh, look, Dave, can I just interrupt? I just want to tell him a quick story. So Izzy was staying with Mike at that point.
Yeah.
And because they train him 3 times, they tend to have a snooze. So Mike comes home one day. He says, I tiptoe past Izzy's room. And there's Izzy at the end of his bed looking up at that fucking picture. Wow. Going, I'm the UFC champion of the world. 2015 he did that. I think it was, I don't know what year did he take the title. 2018?
Yeah. You know, the crazy thing is, bro, is that it might have been around 2015. I'll have to check my Instagram messages. Mm-hmm. Is he messaged like before everything, you know?
Yeah.
And I did a story about something, about where I come from.
Yeah.
I think it was I did a story about being having a gun at my head. And he commented, he goes, man, what was it? What was it that got you up to where you are? This was in 2015. It might even, around that. And then to hear that, he had started working with you at that time. So he's obviously, he was starting to think about these things, eh?
Yeah, the perception.
Yeah.
You become aware.
Yeah.
And again, isn't that a law of attraction? So you start seeking this information.
Yeah.
See, one of the most beautiful states to be in is curious.
Yeah.
Be curious about your life.
That's what it was, yeah. It was just a question,
Fucking A, he was curious.
What made you turn around?
I think the other thing, with Izzy, highly intelligent.
Yeah.
Takes on concepts very quickly, very, very eager to learn. And he's the sort of guy that, again, I think our responsibility, because we've been given the gift of life, is to become the best possible version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And the best way to really conquer that and to create that, even though you will probably run out of time, is to face up to the fucking fears. Where fear lies, there lies your task.
Yeah.
Carl Jung. Wow. Where fear lies, there lies your task.
Yeah. You asked me.
Yeah.
What I would. What's the question?
If you could not fail, what would you like to do with your life?
I've thought about this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And for me, if I couldn't fail.
Cannot fail, Dave.
If I cannot fail.
Think big here, bro.
If I couldn't fail,
Yep.
I'd be Prime Minister
Right.
of this country.
There you go. So now that you've proclaimed that, you are to create a vision board and now ask yourself better quality questions. What exactly are the requirements, both in understanding, education and otherwise, that I need to start focusing on so that I don't just become a Prime Minister, I become the Prime Minister?
Yeah. Watch the space.
Watch the space.
I do want to ask you
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you what your why is.
Yep.
I want to ask you, what's your vision?
I am living my vision.
Wow. Me too.
That's the beautiful thing, mate, because it was life by design. It was fucking hard, but I live. Oh, look at this. Friday morning, bro. Sitting down, having a conversation. This,
Yeah.
from a young kid in steel cap boots and overalls, putting ink in a duct of a printing press for fucking $7 an hour.
Wow. It's possible.
Fucking anything's possible,
Yeah.
bro. Here's something. Not that
We've
I
got
want
all
to.
the cells. We've got everything here to do it.
But, mate, I'll tell you something that freaks me out, right? My wife found an old page slip. And the reason why I say 7 is I think at the end I was probably earning about $14 an hour. In an hour. The most I've ever earned in an hour is 10 grand.
Wow.
Now, the goal is how do I make that 100?
Yeah.
How do I make 100 grand in an hour? Quality of your life is directly related to the quality of the questions you ask of yourself and others.
Yeah.
How many people right now are fucking asking for a wage increase of fucking 4%?
Yeah.
Isn't that dumb?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be better off asking yourself better quality questions on how I could be amplifying and taking responsibility to change my life?
Yeah. I love it, man.
Game on?
Game on. Thank you so much for joining. I do think this is one of many. It's a way that I can get free free sessions too.
Yeah. I
Hey,
fucking already invoiced you, bro.
Big Dave, I appreciate you, bro.
a pleasure,
man, I've got things to work on.
You do, mate. You need to put a plan now.
Yeah.
You know, think about this. You need to ideally model some of the great leaders,
Yep.
right? So I need you to perhaps look at what are the attributes of a great leader and model that behavior.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. 3 steps to greatness, okay? I'll finish with this. 3 steps to greatness. Number 1, set goals. 2, educate yourself. 3, have a financial plan.
Got it.
Done.
Thank you so much, brother.
Pleasure, bro.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for the support. It really does mean so much to us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on our videos and share this out. These stories are so inspiring and they need to be heard by everyone. Thank you so much, team.